If you believe that Justice Kennedy is the key vote in this case, and it looks like he is, then it does look like the Supreme Court may punt on whether the Constitution gives gays the right to marriage. Twice Kennedy asked during oral arguments today if the prudent course wouldn't simply be just not to rule.
But when it has 1,100 laws, which in our society means that the federal government is intertwined with the citizens' day-to-day life, you are at real risk of running in conflict with what has always been thought to be the essence of the state police power, which is to regulate marriage, divorce, custody.
Kennedy seemed to return again and again, Mark, to this notion that marriage is a matter for the states, not the federal government. If the court doesn't rule on this, then it could allow gays to continue to marry in California. Now, on the conservative side, Chief Justice Roberts, he expressed his frustration with Obama for what he called an inconsistent position. He said that Obama is enforcing the law, but not defending it before the court. Here's the quote: "I don't see why he doesn't have the courage of his convictions and execute not only the statute, but do it consistent with his views of the Constitution, rather than saying, oh, we'll wait until the Supreme Court tells us we have no choice." Strong words from the Chief Justice there. But the ruling, Mark, which is expected in June, could go a variety of ways, and just punting on it is just one of the options. Mark?
Hans, what is at issue here in terms of federal rules and regulations?
Well, Mark, there are more than 1,000 laws and regulation, but it gets really interesting in the federal tax policy side of things. When you look at married benefits, if gays are allowed to marry, they get benefits on estate tax, portability provisions with insurance policy, retirement savings account. Now, then there are those implications for single filing. That is, if gays aren't allowed to marry or they just file separately, their income tax rates for higher earner, that dreaded marriage tax penalty. And as a married couple, gays could also no longer use GRITs. Those are grantor retained income trusts. So there are some penalties if they do decide to marry. And on all this, if wealthy gay couples think that their higher tax burdens under marriage, then they don't have to get married. All this boils down to wealthy gay couples, though, they may be paying more in federal taxes if they do get married.